Hey everyone, this is Pig4Life, and hopefully 598 is already joining us. 598 Robots, who will be the special guest in today's live stream review. Hey 598, if you're there, could you just send a quick message so that I can see that you're there? I want to make sure we have him on before we get started. Is this thing on? Can anybody send a chat to make sure this thing's on? Give me a second, folks. I just want to make sure everything is on. I'm not seeing anything, so it has me a little concerned that, let me see. It has me concerned that it might not be live. Okay. All right. Sorry. I had to make sure that it's working because I'm not actually seeing the live chat. I don't know why. I had to log into my computer to make sure. Okay. So we'll get started anyway. Unfortunately, I won't be able to answer any chats, unfortunately, because I don't know why none of the chats are working, but oh well. So again, thanks everyone for joining. We're gonna go over this guy here. This is X-Transbots Flipout, their version of an MP Wildrider. Designed by 598 Robots, who is in the chat. Hopefully you guys can see all that and interact with him. So he's here as a special guest. Thank you for your time and really just wanting to engage with your fans. I know I've been a fan of 598 for a really long time, and when I finally got to know him, it was great to actually be able to talk to him about designs and so forth. So he was very nice to volunteer his time before I head off to Korea. So he squeezed me into his busy schedule. So first thing we'll do is just look at his alt mode. As you can see here, he does have a handgun that plugs in, kind of pretty standard MP style blaster with the tabs on the side. And the tabs into this port here, as we saw. Nice and sturdy. Oh, I guess I should also start off with saying that this is a pre-production sample. This was one of the ones that was at TFCon. So obviously the finish, the fit, and any kind of refinements are probably coming down the line for this. Although this one feels really good. I think the only minor refinements are probably needed before this guy comes out. And I believe X-Transbots said that it would be September when this guy comes out. So pretty soon. So yeah, let's do a quick 360. And you can see his nice Ferrari alt mode. Again, not being a car guy, I had to look up, you know, what car it was. I think it was like a Ferrari 308 or something like that. Man, it's kind of a bummer that I'm not seeing any of these chats. I'm not gonna be, I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose for me, but oh well. But yeah, it's really nicely done. Nice metallic paint with metallic flake, very glossy. The red here is also really glossy, has a nice sheen to it. Some silver paint and gold paint on the rims themselves. Some details on the tail lights as well as the exhaust. And on the front. And a little rectangular emblem where you would usually see that little horsey that indicates you spent a lot of money on this car, as well as the Ferrari shield here. So the windshield is also a translucent red, which gives it kind of a menacing look, which I like. It's different than the gray or blue that we've seen elsewhere, but I think it is really fitting of this character. Yeah, underneath you do see very much the body and the upper thighs and even the hands here for the robot mode, but I think it cleans up really well. Nice rubber tires, and they're even treaded. So no slicks or anything like that. And as far as playability, it rolls around. And besides the gun, there's not much else going on. Let's do some comparisons. So since we already have Crack Up out, which was a great figure. You can see just how well he scales here. They look very nice together, teammates and all. And of course, I can't get away with a review without doing a street comparison. So really nice scale as far as alt mode goes. Since I can't really do anything as far as answering questions, this might be really quick. This can fold up, although, and again, I can't even answer these questions. I think there's some storage here in robot mode, but I'm not sure. But the handle does fold up. Let's go straight into transformation. So the first thing you want to do is get this tab on both sides open. If there's a bit of a gap, you can do this. If you need a little bit of room, 598 suggests a little bit of wiggle. You can pull that out. The next thing is a set of tabs hidden underneath the roof here. So it's basically a tab that goes over top of the roof. So what you want to do is kind of like press up on kind of the waist I found. And that should release it unless this releases first. So I do sometimes have trouble with that. But again, I think the tolerances are probably being refined here. So what you want to do is get this up like that on both sides. And hopefully you'll have better luck with yours than mine. But it's a really tight tab, which is good in some sense, but also you want to make sure it's not too tight. So from here, after making sure these are still open, you can fold the car into a 90-degree angle. You see these little feetums come out like that. Back here, you want to separate the two halves and then untab the bumper portion, and you can just leave it out like this for now. You basically just need to do that so that the legs have room to just straighten out, like so. And you can hear the ratchets already. As far as ratchets and tolerances go, this guy feels pretty close to done. So I'm going to deviate a little bit from his transformation because I actually think there's a kind of a maybe alternate transformation for his leg that I thought you guys might want to see. So let me go with the first one, the official one first. So let's open this up, make sure this is open as well. That allows you to swivel this all the way around like so. Fold this piece in, rotate this piece in, and then you're going to come around and fold that into place. Make sure these are sitting back down, and they just kind of sit. He made it so that this little notch kind of sits in this area, and that kind of keeps it closed. And then that bumper, the inside of the bumper, fills in the leg, the inner shin. So the alternate transformation that I actually thought was the official one, before I saw his video review, was to open this up, swing this around the same way, but instead of folding this on the inside, folding it on the outside. So I'll show you what that looks like, and you can do a comparison. So I did it like this, so it still covers up that hole, but it's a bit of a different look. So this one is a little bit indented inwards, I suppose, and this one is a little bit outward, so it really depends on your aesthetic. I kind of like it like this, but it's really up to you how you ultimately want to do it. This is the official transformation. All right, so now we get to the front part of the car. I'd like to release this tab first on both sides of the door. You basically just need to pull it out, if I can get it. So it's an over and under tab, so that's why it's a little, I'm struggling a little bit here. Let's start over here first. It might be easier to do it this way then. So untab this front section here, and then there's another tab on this side. You might want to pull down on this little rectangular piece right here. I feel like that's a little bit easier to get some leverage, and just untab that front section. All right, and then this should come out pretty easily, but again, of course, live reviews, you're always going to struggle. So there we go. Scooch this up a bit, and with that, all of the hood and the windshield should come undone, like so. This will lift up. You want to fold in these wheel well, or I guess fender pieces, fold in that front piece of the hood, and then you want to fold it in on itself. And you'll see it clear and kind of clip into place, so it locks into place, it's not flopping around or anything like that. All right, so the next thing we'll do is unfold the arms straight. You can see his head right there. The thing I like to do is actually deal with the shoulders first. The reason being is because they need to scooch down enough so that when these close and tab into these ports here, they have to be positioned correctly. So this is an extending kind of telescoping joint. You want to push that down as far as you can so that this pin's kind of lined up here, and you want to rotate at this pin on the shoulder joint all the way to the other side. So it's kind of like this. So that will give you the clearance for this to close, this peg to go into this port. If you had the arm straight, you're just going to get a bunch of interference. So just make sure to have this arm in kind of this ready position. You can fold up the window and the side view mirror, and then you just fold out the head. When you close this up, this should fit right in there without issue. Nice satisfying click. Same on the other side. Make sure it's pressed all the way down. There we go. Now you can rotate at those pins again to get the shoulders in a right angle. Lastly, you have these little notches on this back platform for the neck. And what you want to do is kind of align them here. It has kind of corresponding notches here and a bump on each side. And you just push that in, and there we go. Now you just need, oh no, sorry. That was me forcing it too hard. This ball joint is actually very sturdy. You want to fold the arm down and just get it positioned correctly. With the hands and the forearms, you want to get the red facing forward and the fist rotated the correct way. And I feel like there's some way to attach this somewhere, and I really wish I could see 598's response, because I don't remember it from the video, but I feel like there's some kind of storage here. It probably makes sense to have some kind of storage here, but I'm not recalling. And if I could get a quick look at my computer, which fell asleep, I could probably get you an answer. But hopefully he's already answering that in the chat as I do this, as I fiddle with this gun. But the gun handle comes down, very MP style, and you just rotate it into the fist and close up the fingers. And with that, we have Flipout, or MP Wildrider, in his robot mode. And he looks great. And with the magic of editing, we'll take this and transform him into robot mode. And you can see just how well they scale with each other. And for fun, let's go ahead and bring out his other creation, which is coming out soon, Savant, or Skids, MP Skids. And no masterpiece comparison, scale comparison will be complete without MP10. So there you go. All right, so just give me a second. I'm actually going to try to log into my computer to see if there's any questions I can answer. Okay, so I just saw the word buttholes, and then I realized it's from 598. He said it may plug into one of his buttholes. See, this is why I'm sad that I'm missing. I'm missing the chat, because I miss out on stuff like this. Plug into one of his buttholes. I don't know. That doesn't seem right. I mean, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I thought maybe you could tab into this. But yeah, I must be wrong. There's probably a reason why this can store, though. I'm guessing he's probably explained that, or has already explained that in the chat. Side of the gun. Side of the gun. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So this round thing apparently plugs into his butt like this. Maybe the bottom one? I don't know. This doesn't seem to work. Yeah. Oh, okay. It worked. It worked. Okay, there you go. See, why can't I see the chat? I'm super frustrated that I can't see any of this chat. It's probably user error on my part. Super chat? I don't know I don't even know what super chat is. Sponsor and super chat messages. All messages. Why am I not seeing this? Utter frustration. I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of doing a live stream if I can't see that. But there you go. You have storage on his butthole. It looks like the upper butthole, not the lower butthole. Although, no, the lower butthole works too. So you got your choice of butthole number 1 or butthole number 2. All right. So, hold on. You guys just chill here, and I'm actually gonna bring my laptop over so I can actually read these chats. How's the quality, by the way? Is the stream quality decent at least? All right. All right, so I can see your chats now. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know. I'm gonna try to do that. Butt gun. Christopher. Yeah, 598 has a lot of projects in the works. A lot. You know, we've seen a lot of reveals and even renders that are in the works from X-Transbot, but you know, there's only so much you can do at one time. He's probably the hardest working man in Transformers design, at least third-party designers right now. Oh, we have Chugo King in the chat room as well, although he's not using his Chugo King account. That's kind of weird. All right, I'm just trying to catch up a little bit. Hey, one of the things that a lot of people have been asking 598 is, I know the remaining 2 car bots for the Berserk cars or Stunticons are coming out before the end of the year. Is there an ETA on Motormaster's release? It's gone all buffery? Oh no. Can you transform MP36? I still function, quit trolling, okay? All right, thanks, Chad, for letting me know. All right, there's Chugo King. He switched. So Chugo King is also going to have a stream. Actually, he was supposed to have it at 6 p.m. our time, like right when this started, and I inconsiderately scheduled it without knowing. So he was thoughtful enough to push his stream until after we finish with 598, and he's going to be on Facebook Live. I think I shared the post on Facebook. But be sure to check that out. He's going to actually go over the TFCon exclusive tapes from Ocular Max. What was it? Catcall, Uproar, and Enmitus. I don't know, another weird Latin name. So be sure to check that out once we're done over here. Hey, 598. One of the questions I've always had is, why did you switch to 598? I think you were originally like 5.2 something or something like that before. Is there a reason why you switched to 598? Why does Skid cost 1/3 more than the Berserk cars? Oh, well, I think so. Crack Up, especially when he first came out, he was priced higher than he was supposed to. But I think, from what I understand, or at least what the rumors were, that somebody had stolen the design from our poor 598, all his hard work, and they made like that really janky looking side swipe that was revealed a while ago. So I think it was to discourage people from buying that. Because obviously, you know, the price they have for Crack Up is just ridiculously good. I don't know why you would not buy him for that price. So I think that's the reason why. Yeah, I actually don't. So that's one of the things. So people are asking about how this all works, right? And I know a lot of them just kind of plug on. It seems like the well, at least the leg bots. It seems like the arm bots are supposedly splitting in half, which I think is a really interesting design choice. I'm very curious to see how it works. Take the gun out of his butthole. All right. Yeah, he's probably getting uncomfortable. We got Papa Louie in the house. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, there's not that much for me to show. I could show transformation back the other way. There are some interesting things about the transformation back that it's not kind of exactly, at least the best way is not doing exactly what we did here in reverse. Just because of the way the feet have some problems. Pig, will this be in scale with Constructor? I doubt it. I know he's going to be big. Is he going to be something like 18 inches tall, 598, when he's finally done? Yeah, I think this is really well done. The fact that everything tabs in really well here. The only thing that doesn't really tab in, I guess, is the leg piece, but this is actually held in with that little nub here. So there's no real, and there's enough friction here that I'm not concerned about this kind of like flopping around. So I think this was overall maybe, I guess, a sleeker transformation. I should have done a 360. Oh, I didn't go over articulation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So articulation, he has a head, neck swivel. He can look up and a little bit down, I suppose. His arms are on that pin joint here, as well as that ball joint. That gives you pretty excellent range of motion. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which I'll show you on this arm. Wrist swivel and MP style hands with the pin at the base of the four fingers. No thumb articulation. You can see he has the ab crunch, 90 degrees, which helps with transformation. Waist swivel all the way around, friction based. His skirts do move out of the way, forward and to the side. And he has soft ratcheted hips going this way and this way. And then same thing going this way. Thigh swivel. He does technically have double jointed knees, but because of the way the legs are formed, he really can only make use of 90 degrees of the top one, which is fine. 90 degrees is more than enough. He has ankle tilts, and then the toe and the heel can be separately articulated based on the same pin joint. But it really, the heel can't go, they can't go more than 180 degrees. It's not like the heel can scooch up any more than that. But yeah, alternate leg transformation that I accidentally discovered is this one, or you can have this one here, which is official. And don't have him stand like this because that's kind of dweeby. All right, so let's see. How would I rate it compared to Crack Up? I think this guy, even in the test form, just because of the overall looks, I think he's just as good as Crack Up. A lot of people were kind of skeptical, as they've always been, and they probably will always be about X-Transbots, even though they've greatly improved their quality. I think he's probably a little bit better just because of the way the backpack is designed. This one's a little bit more bulky here, and doesn't really lock into place. But as far as overall quality goes, even as a test shot, this feels really good. And if it maintains the same kind of level of quality and paint that we saw with Crack Up, I have no doubts it's going to be good. All right. All right, let's see. 598 probably already answered the question. 19 inches. Okay, so once this guy's combined, he'll be 19 inches. So I think he'll still be maybe 1 or 2 inches shorter than Constructor. But Constructor, it's really going to be hard to compete with him just because he has such large portions of him that are parts forming, like the entire, like basically midsection upper thighs, which this does too. This will eventually have parts forming as well with the trailer. But it also has, 6 whole pieces as opposed to 5 pieces. All right, let's see what other questions we have. Yeah, Hans did the same thing, right? He's six bots versus 5 bots for Menasor. The ball joints and the shoulders are pretty tight, even on this test shot. Like, it's not like they're flopping around or anything like that. I'm guessing they'll probably be a little bit tighter on the final. And this has probably been messed with so much, not just by me, but everyone who had to help set up TFCon and stuff like that. So it's probably a little bit looser than a final release will be. And then identify peg. So that's the thing. Like, this is supposed to like peg on, but I don't see any like pegs. So like even here, this is basically the main section. All of this is the main section of the alt mode. So I'm not really sure how this pegs on. And same thing with crack up. The majority of this, I wonder if there's like a hidden port or something like that that I'm missing. I don't know. Oh, 598 said just measure Constructor and our fellow will stand about eye to eye, which is good. Okay, I thought Constructor was about 20 inches or so, but I could be wrong. I don't usually go around measuring my figures with a measuring tape. All right, so do you guys want me to transform this guy back? I mean, I guess I might as well. Since we have the time and since it's hard for me to actually keep up with the chat anyway, and 598 is doing a great job. Yeah, I think a lot of people love Constructor, myself included, regardless of the parts forming, and so everyone wants a figure or the other combiners to kind of stack up to that. So let's start with transformation back. The first thing we'll do is go ahead and unpeg that little backpack section up at the top. I'd like to release this backpack, unfold it, get these parts out of the way. Oh, yeah, and he actually has painted windshield wipers. And it's raining where I am right now, so that's actually very helpful. From here, rotate those shoulders up. Again, just to get them out of the way so you're not like running into them when you open up these doors. Flip out the window, flip out the side view mirror. Yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of people are curious about 598's first experience, or at least that we know of doing a combiner. I imagine that was both exciting and nerve-wracking, especially having to deal with, the history of a lot of combiners being not very sturdy. I wonder if that's something you can address, 598. Were you reluctant about that, or were you excited? And, were there things that you had to come up with that were, that helped you overcome those challenges that everybody seems to face and very few get right? I'm guessing a lot of that is probably due to the fact that the parts forming probably solves some of those issues in the sense that you can design really strong ratchets and stuff like that without interfering with the robot modes. So I'm just talking while I'm transforming this guy. Fold in the arms like so. You do want to have the fists open, and so that the thumb kind of wraps around this piece. So this should be 90 degrees. 90 degrees here and then 90 degrees here. So same thing on this side, making sure that the thumb sits up like so and wraps around. It's almost holding these gray pieces, these extending gray pieces. So if we were doing this basically backwards of what we did before, we would tab all this in. But it makes getting the feet in here kind of difficult. So we're gonna actually leave this up and floppy for now and go down and deal with the feet. So we'll go ahead and lift this up, straighten that out, rotate this piece around like this. And this piece is going to also rotate like so. And it's going to come back around this way. You want to flip open these red pieces, get that down, and you just want to tab in the back one for now, because this one is going to help tab the doors in place. So just leave that for now. And you want to collapse the leg, fold up the legs on themselves, basically 180 degrees. Like so. Fold up the feet. And then you can go ahead and fold this down. Sorry, when I'm taking breaks, I'm basically trying to look at my laptop and see if there are any questions I can potentially answer. All right, same thing here. Again, this is the false transformation that I did that I thought was kind of neat, but I might be the only one. Rotate this around. Come this way. Again, flip these red portions open. Close the back one, the smaller back one. And then fold the leg in on itself, making sure these hip skirts are as flat as possible. Close this up with that little peg there. You can combine both halves. So yeah, the reason why I do this way, and probably the reason why 598 recommended it, is because if this is all collapsed, you can't just like flip in the two halves like this, because there's just interference. So what you want to do is flip it in like this, and then form all the other pieces. So I think it's best actually, he said start from the front to the back. I think that back to the front works just as well. And then you have to get this over under tab in place as well. There we go. All right, maybe it's not working just as well. I should have listened to him. My hubris. All right, we're gonna listen to him and go back. So the legs have to be in. Leave these doors open. Peg these sections up front. Come on. There we go. Peg those two pegs in. This tab. This place flipped in. Make sure these pieces, fender pieces, are still flipped out. Peg that in. Peg that in. I'm gonna come through here. This piece folded in. So go ahead and tab this tab onto the side front fender. Oh, I messed up. I pulled the feet out. So see, this is one of the things that makes it a little, at least in this test shot, a little bit more difficult, because the heels sometimes interfere and run into this. So I just push them up sometimes. All right, push that in, close that up. Same thing over here. Make sure that's tabbed in. Tab that in. And for this one, this door, this side kind of sticks in a little bit, so I want to pull it out to make sure it's level there. And there we go. We have Flipout, or Wildrider, back in alt mode. You can tab that in. And again, editing magic, we have crack up. So the one thing I will say, and that he mentioned, is that crack up already came with two faces, but Flipout will come with an additional face for crack up. So you'll end up having three faces. All right, getting back to the laptop, see if there's any questions for me. One of the things that I've been really interested in is X-Transbots Galvatron, and apparently that's still in the works, but again, he just has so much stuff. The Spudger, yeah, Antoine, if you guys don't have a Spudger and you're a Transformer collector, you really need to get one. They're super cheap, and they help with everything. Opening tabs, just pushing stuff out of the way, and for all your spudging needs. Yeah, Hans Abaddon, yeah, that's the Galvatron. Oh, even Chogoking has questions for 598. Trunk on Crack Up's trunk. Well, hold on. Can you zoom in on his trunk? Yeah. I think there are plenty of reviews out for this guy. Yeah, 598 is getting a ton of questions. He's probably regretting this now. Darren, Chogoking actually got into, I think, toy design after doing the artwork and some helping with sculpting. So I think he kind of fell backwards into it. All right, so I don't think I have much more to go over in this review. I'm hesitant to actually stop though, because the questions just keep coming apparently for 598, and it's just really interesting to watch. But I don't think anybody who watches this review later just wants to watch a still screen. So we'll just pew pew pew. Actually, I probably shouldn't do that with that sample. Darren, no, I don't live in Japan. I live outside of Washington, D.C. and America in Northern Virginia, actually. I've never been I've only had a layover in Japan. I am going to Korea, though. I'm going to Korea tomorrow morning, bright and early, at 9 a.m. I don't think you're supposed to tell people that when you're going on vacation on social media, right? I mean, that just sets you up to get robbed or something like that. That's okay, so just forget I said that. I'll be here the rest of the summer. Thanks, Intangible Cog. I appreciate it. We're asking about the bird now? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Chad knows where I live. He's actually a Northern Virginia person too. I know where you live too, Chad, so I could just post that everywhere as well. So the whole set, Super Touring, I think 598 already mentioned it, and I actually asked the question about when Motormaster is releasing, and I didn't read the answer. So he'll probably be able to answer that. I know the rest of all the limbs will be complete before the end of the year. I think the only question is Motormaster. So this guy will be September-ish, and I think the other two are releasing at the same time. What is it, November? No, Lord Supreme, they're actually talking about his real life bird. Christopher Swinehart, so you have genius ideas. What are your genius ideas? Let's just throw in some other interesting figures. I'm so behind on reviews. I still have to make some corrections to this so I can do the review for that. I still have to do instructions for Hellion. I still have to do this guy. Clearly that's not all getting done before 9 a.m. tomorrow. But it's been fun messing with these guys. Messing with all these figures. That's like the best part of going to TFCon for me. It's not really the con itself. The con is like hanging out with friends. But when I come back, I often have to bring these samples back to the US and I get to mess with them before any of you and make you all jealous. No problem, 598. Hey, did you say you have to go or something like that? I missed it. If you need to go, we can definitely cut off now. You've been more than kind in sparing your time, as well as answering the Delusion questions. Yo-Yo Biggs, your first thing you say is yo-yo? Is that why they call you Yo-Yo Biggs? Oh, Swinehart, your idea was transformation. Okay. All right, Darren, thanks for joining. I think a lot of people are excited for drag strip in particular. I've heard a lot of people say that. I think Chadicus in the chat was also really excited about that. Yeah, 598. I know I've given you a hard time for your crazy transformation sometimes, but I think that is really changing. I think the balance that you've struck lately is really good. It's a nice balance while you still maintain those super authentic and accurate real life alt mode, as well as the really accurate, kind of like screen accurate animation mode, and being able to get between those a lot more easily. Drag strip looks like the bee's knees. Nice. All right, so I'm gonna cut this off. I think we've been going for 41 minutes now. I think that's plenty of time. We got to see transformations both ways. You guys got to ask a lot of questions of 598. He's probably going to some figures are super hard to get. Yeah, he's probably needs to get back to what he needs to do. Again, his laundry list of figures that he needs to design, release. And he's told me about some of the projects, which obviously I can't share with you guys, but believe me, he's got a lot of really interesting stuff going on in addition to just these guys here. These guys are just obviously the main attraction as of late. So again, 598, thank you so much for your time. Thanks everyone for joining and participating. Sorry about the snafu again with YouTube not even showing me chats this time, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And I want to keep doing this. So, you know, this designer series that started with Chigoking and second 598, we want to keep going. If you guys know AK, the designer of the Ocular Max line, I'm trying to schedule something with him, and he would probably be joining the Skylinks, I think the Mastermind Creation Skylinks. I think he was the designer for that as well. So he'll be probably joining that and having a discussion on that. And I know 598, he actually literally sent me a text message and said, steal me that Skylinks from TFCon, thank you and goodbye. So I know he's excited for that as well. So thanks everyone for joining, I appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up, share, subscribe, let your friends know, and we'll keep doing more and more of this. Obviously, the more popular it is, the more that the other companies will let us do this. So thanks again, as always, to Toy Dojo, my sponsor, for really just making these relationships happen so that I can meet these designers, talk to them, and the companies actually trust me to do these live previews with samples, which is a big risk. And then X-Transbots, obviously, for allowing us to do this early on. It's a big risk for them because they're prototypes and you never know what can go wrong, and people might misinterpret this as a final copy with some of the paint issues or some tolerances or whatever it may be, without realizing that, you know, it is actually a prototype. All right, so we're gonna sign off now. Thanks a lot, everyone. Hope you have a good one.